Hey guys, welcome back. And like always, it's me, you, and Dada,
Yay, go me!
and my loving name for her. No,
Mouth
no,
breather.
I can't help it. It's funny, and I say it with love. All right, guys. Um, in part two of me we talked about moving out and going to school, college, and why I stay here. Um, I guess the next logical video is to talk about what I did after high school or during during college. Um, I took a semester off and I went to a local college. We have what there are about four colleges,
IU East, Ivy Tech.
no names.
Here local?
Yeah, no names.
Huh?
Dada doesn't understand that I don't want any names.
Oh, no names. I'm sorry, I screwed up. Yeah, about four.
Yeah, four. And one of them is a big, um, well, hell. um, you know what? I live in Richmond, Indiana, and I really didn't want that to be known. So we have Ivy Tech, IU East, um,
Just cut it out. Just chop
no,
it right out.
no, the school of Odom and Odom's School of Religion. And that makes up the four, right? Yeah. And I can't forget a small piece of IUPUI for those that doesn't live in Indiana. That is Indiana IU Purdue University. Is that right?
Yeah,
IUPUI.
I think.
Yeah, so I went to IU East and first I wanted to, well, since I couldn't go to Florida and do that co-op program with that school, and that shall remain nameless. Um, I decided to stay here, as you can see, and at first I wanted to become a writer. Um, so I was an English major for about a year until I took my first psychology class, which I loved. And the professor I absolutely adore. I mean, she, I, I can't remember her name, which is sad. But she made the field of psychology come to life. And while I was doing that, I started working part time, and I and we just had the mayoral election. So we had a new Democrat mayor at the time, and I kind of wanted to get into politics. So a friend of mine suggested that I should send the mayor my resume. And I'm getting ahead of myself because
Slow your roll.
like, see, I've done a lot. I mean, a lot. Before I sent my resume in to the mayor, I was in a leadership academy called Partners in Policy Making for the state of Indiana. That leadership program is to turn people into advocates or better advocates. And I graduated from that program. And in that during that year, I went to India once a month, and we learned anything and everything from local housing rules to and to what an IEP is. And if you have a disability, you probably had or have an what did I say? IEP. I think I said IEP. Right? I said IEP.
IUPI, wouldn't it?
No, it's an individual educational plan.
Oh,
I think it's IEP.
IEP.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. We are having one of those
A discussion.
days.
It's IEP, thank you.
Yeah, IEP. So, which I have one when I was in school, and I had to come up with one, or a department come up with one for me while I was at IU East. And so, again, if you are looking for a cohesive conversation with me, don't even try to keep up. Because my mind is everywhere.
He's like a toddler with ADHD.
I swear
He's
to
already ate a
God.
10-pound bag of candy.
I swear to God, I have ADD, but you know that already.
I'm waiting on him to start turning his wheelchair one of these days in circles. Round and round and round she goes.
So I graduated from that leadership program, and I sent the mayor my resume, which at that time looked pretty good. I didn't have any work experience, but I shortly after got a job working for an independent living center. Yeah, I did a lot in a span of maybe 10 to 12 years. I loved, before I go there, um, getting back on topic,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know which one I'm gonna do. Pick one then.
What's my choices?
Um, Running for office or working for state and local government.
Running for office. Well,
Okay.
like political crap.
All right. You know, I've done a couple political opinion videos on the protest in Minnesota. I love politics. I'm not a fan of the game of politics, but you know. So anyway, here I am an openly gay, uh, uh, disabled guy from a little town in Indiana. Alright, so the mayor looked over my resume and she said that leadership program I was in. And I was a Democrat. And I said was because I think I'm more of an independent now, just based on how the parties are, what they're doing, and how they are so competitive against each other. Anyway, again, I'm going off on a side street. I I was placed on Richmond's Human Rights Commission, and the purpose of the commission was to oversee um, housing complaints and racial discrimination, which I did that for 12 years. And during those 12 years, I also got involved. Yeah, see, I said I was going to talk about running for office. And here I am talking about my other government works. Yeah, see, that is just how my mind is as well. And while I was on the commission, I was also placed on a state commission for the Independent Libertarians of Indiana, which that body oversaw the operating budgets of their, I think it's at least 20 to 30 independent living centers. And like I said, we oversaw the operating budgets, which I enjoyed doing. So yeah, between my local government duty and my state obligation. Oh, by the way, it was I was appointed to that state commission by then Governor Mike Pence. So I know I'm a camel.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Oh, guys.
Are you on the right track now?
So, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, guys. I do know the now ex-vice president, which I'm not proud that I can say that. And just let me say this for the record. Mike Pence is, I should say, Vice President Pence is a great person, good person, but a very I was saying his political views are out there. And I'm getting off topic again, I'm sorry. So, well, now that you know what I was doing locally and on the state, after a few years on the local commission, the mayor was like, you know, have you ever thought about running for office? And I was like, no, not really. Because honestly, who is going to vote for an openly disabled gay man in Hickville, Indiana?
If he gives me money, I will.
See, there you go. One vote. What I joke about where I live, but Richmond is not that progressive. So I ran for city council, not once but twice. And I want to thank my friend Anderson Clark Zadell, who was a big part of my campaign while I was running. And I ran against an elderly incumbent Democrat.
You mean you beat the pants off an old man?
No.
Oh.
No, I did not win, but I ran against, you know, a well-known guy in my community. And we had a debate, and you know, here I am, a first young face and a fire in my gut, and he, my opinion, he was a yes man to the party, which that's not me. I will not be a yes person just because the party wants me to go along with them. If I believe it's, if I believe in the topic, it's a different thing. So I ran twice, and I tell you what, campaigning, the thrill of campaigning is awesome. It's like the most amazing roller coaster you can ever go on. It's addictive. It really is. Because you never stay at one place for very long. I loved it. And I still think about getting back into politics. But yeah, I ran twice. Did not win either time. But I made a good enough showing that if I wanted to, I could have ran for a third time. So yeah, that's mine. And yeah, that's my time during and after college. And you are probably thinking, why didn't you continue? Well, for those of you that did not watch my mental health video, my dad passed back in '09, I think. And when he died, I was doing everything that I said. And my body just decided to give up on me. I started having seizures, and yeah, it became a mess. But yeah, that's what I did after high school and during college. Alright guys, and that's my time for the day, and I will talk to you in the next video. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe. Alright guys, see you later.